Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Maureen. You're most welcome to this YouTube channel. For all my amazing returning subscribers, I want to say thank you. And before I go to today's video, first of all, I want to dedicate this channel to you all. I want to say a big thank you for your amazing support on this channel. Thank you so much for 325 subscribers. You guys are so amazing. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you so much for watching my videos, for your amazing comments. Thank you for my Serbian family for welcoming me to be a part of your family. Thank you so much. You're all my wonderful internet in-laws. I really truly appreciate. And if you haven't subscribed, please, I urge you to do so. Go ahead, subscribe, like the video, share the video as wide as you can, and also feel free to comment down below in the comment section. And as we get to know each other, if you also want to say hello, want to give some comments, I am officially on Instagram. You can go to my description, the description bio on my channel, my YouTube channel, and you'll get to see my Instagram handle. So without any further ado, let's go straight to today's video. So guys, today's video is actually a recap of last video that I made about relocating to Serbia, my plans to relocate. I really fell in love with Serbia since the first day I landed in Serbia, and so I have been having these plans of relocating to Serbia one of these fine days. So in that process, I'm still trying to do my research, my final touches, to be able to confirm 100% that this is the decision that I really want to make. So guys, if you haven't watched, please go back and watch this particular video so that you are able to connect well on today's video. So straight to today's video, guys. I have been collecting information, more information. I mean, I have had like at least a half of the information about Serbia, but this time round I was going on about getting to know Serbia almost 100%. Yeah, 100%. So I was gathering information here and there, things that I didn't know I got to find out, which was a very great thing. So this is basically on the political side, history, culture, you know, and much more information that I had no idea about. And some of this information are, for instance, guys, probably you didn't know, like Serbia is the second largest country in the world that produces raspberry, meaning like 90% of raspberry in the world comes from Serbia. So you all respect to Serbia. Gosh, like that is such an amazing thing. That tells you a lot about how the country is. Yes, financially, let me say. And another fact finding about Serbia that I was shocked, like we have about 13 people who worked on the Apollo project, the NASA project, which is the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. 13 people came from Serbia. There was maybe to name one person that I read about. His name is Mihailo Pupin. I am not good at pronouncing yet, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about, and who was one of the founders of NASA. How amazing! That tells you the intellectual state of the Serbian people. Yeah. And another thing is that surprised me. I know, like you all, this is going to sound so strange. Like this is a whole lot of story. You all have been watching vampires. I have watched Vampire Diaries. I've watched some of Vampires movie. And when you hear vampires, of course, it brings all about the scary part, you know, terrifying, horrifying. And probably we didn't know, most of us didn't even know where vampire came from. We just watch the movies and enjoy, and that's it. So today I want to tell you that vampire came from Serbia. The vampire word is from Serbia, first of all, from a word called vampire. The actual word is vampire. So vampire originated from this vampire word, and the first vampire came from Serbia. I hope that is right. Yeah, if you know any other story, let me know on the comment section down below about how the vampire originated. So let me give you a small story about how this came about. So in the northern side of Serbia, that is 18th century ago, very long time ago, there was this man who was a farmer, and his name was Peter Blagojevich, and Peter came from a village called Kisolava. That was the name of the village. And so Peter, who was a farmer, like I said, died. He passed on, and he had this particular son upon his demise. And it said that a few days later, after his death, Peter returned from his grave, and he came back to his house, and he asked for food from his son, and his son gave him food. So guys, I'm just giving you a brief story of it. It's a whole lot of story, but I'm just summarizing it as much as possible. So he came back for food from his son, and his son managed to give him food, and he then came again the next time for more, but his son said no. So Peter left, definitely a very disappointed, angry person. He wasn't happy at all, so he left. What happens is that the next day, Peter's son was found dead, and that was the next morning. His son was found dead, and then again 9 more other villagers were also found dead another day. And what happened is, before these villagers were found dead, is that they were complaining of being exhausted, you know, and they had actually lost large amount of blood. And before also those villagers died, they were complaining of having dreams, being visited by Peter. And so because this really scared these villagers a lot, these events led to a parish priest having to write to the local magistrate, of course, explaining these incidences. So this particular local magistrate managed to alert the imperial troops, and so they came to the village, they visited the village, and they started to exhume the corpses of course, Peter and Peter victims. And actually, when they were doing that, what they found out on Peter's corpses, it was a very shocking experience. So the thing is that the other corpses were decaying, of course, but for Peter's corpses were perfectly preserved. Like, it was in the same condition when he was dead. Like, it was not decaying, it wasn't decayed at all. And also they found out some blood around his mouth, and it was covering the blood. There were lots of blood that were covering his mouth, and you know, this was very alarming. So what they decided to do after finding out that, so a stake was actually pounded in Peter's chest, and you know, like blood gushed out everywhere. This shocked these guys a lot. So what they managed to do afterwards, they burned Peter's body to ash on a pyre, and then moved onto the other corpses, Peter's victims, and they also did the same. And that was the end of Peter, and that was the end of that vampire event. And so yeah, that is all that went down on that village. So if you're a fan of Vampire Diaries, and you don't know how vampire came about, that is the story. Get it from me. That is how the vampire thing escalated from. connecting to the previous comment about the intellectual level of the Serbian people, you all probably did not know, like, Serbia has a lot of chemists, chemistrians, and a lot of investors. For instance, I got to learn about these genius great people in the Serbian history. That is Mileva Maric, and then there's Milutin Milankovic. I am not good at pronunciation, excuse me all, sorry. And then there's Nikola Tesla. So Nikola Tesla, I am trying to still like dig more about his history, because I think Croatians are claiming him and also the Serbians are claiming him. All in all, he's Balkan, and it's a great thing to have such a great man, you know, coming from all these amazing places. So as you can see, Serbia is a country with a very many intellectuals, geniuses. Another thing that probably you didn't know, I also didn't know about this, is that I was surprised to learn that the best cheese come from Serbia, and this is the most expensive cheese in the world, like the most expensive. I mean, I'm not a fan of cheese, of course. Where I come from in Africa, we are not like good cheese eaters. I mean, currently some people are eating cheese, but majority, a very big percentage, like at least, like, let's say, give it a 80% mark, we are not like cheese eaters. And that was one of the biggest challenges when I moved to Europe. I really had like difficulties in adjusting to that part of like culture of eating cheese. Yeah. So, and this cheese, it's actually made of donkey. It's actually made of goat. It's from a goat milk and a donkey milk, and that was really strange. But as they say, that as it said, that that cheese is very expensive, and like it can cost you an arm and a leg. Before I wind up, actually the name of that particular cheese is called Pule. Yeah, it's called Pule. I heard it's amazing, an amazing cheese. I hope that I get a chance to test it and see if I'll like it. And lastly guys, something you all maybe did not know about it. Do you know that the Serbian Constitution of 1800 states that if any slave enters the land of Serbia, by the time they get to arrive in Serbia, they become a free man? What does that tell you? Serbia as a country. Let me repeat that. Probably you guys did not hear it. Serbian Constitution of 1800 states that if any slaves enter the land of Serbia, that is the end of them being a slave. That moment they get to land in Serbia, they become a free man. How amazing. Like, that tells you a lot about where this love from the Serbian people, amazing hospitality, you know, where it's coming from. Can you imagine? Like, I have never heard about this in any other country. Like, that really touched part of my heart, and I was wondering, like, how did even this constitution come about? Like, it's so amazing. I first stumbled upon this comment in one of my subscriber who put that particular comment down, and I was wondering, like, is this real? So I went on to do a research on my own to just find out more about that particular information, because it really caught my attention, and I found out like this was really 100% true information. And that was one of the like best information that I found out. So guys, that's it for today. If there's something else that you'd love me to know about Serbia that you think probably I don't know about yet, feel free to comment down below in the comment section. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, like the video, share the video as much as you can. Let's get to know each other, guys. And thank you so much once again for your amazing audience. Until next video, guys, thank you so much and ciao.